I'm honored and grateful to share this with you. This is I'm going to be releasing a series of silent transmissions that I have been doing over the past 3 months. I was asked to do this by a fellow in Portugal, a young man in Portugal, and he's very open to Shaktipat, very open to these transmissions. And I'm learning a lot from him about the transmissions, because even though they seem to flow through me or through this body, mind, somehow, in 20 years, I've never really understood how. So essentially, I learn from you. What you tell me about your experiences are the only thing that I really know about it. And the same thing with 20 years of healing that happened with people. People have been healed from all kinds of chronic illnesses that no one else could help them with. It's kind of amazing, really, but I can't take any credit for it. It would be absurd for me to take any credit for it, but it does happen, and I'm witness to it happening. And likewise, I have no idea how this happens, really. But I hear from people, I see the effects that it has on people, that they tell me that they've had chronic pain for 20 years, and suddenly in like a half an hour, it's gone for the first time in 20 years. So I hear this from people, and that's what teaches me that whatever's going on is good. Whatever's going on is something that's worth continuing and worth being part of, and worth whatever I do to have it happen, because I honestly don't know. I don't know. And I honestly don't know how I woke up, really. I had practices for 40 years, very intense practices, silent retreats that went on as long as a year at a time without speaking. But I can't say that any of that is what did it. I don't know. And if we're honest, all awake beings don't know what it is to wake up, how they woke up, or anything else. So this transmission is like that too. Essentially, the transmission, all that happens is I just let go. That's it. That's all I do. All the time with the healings, I was trained to just let go. By what? By the healing, by the force, by the energy that was doing the healing, by life itself was showing me. And it was a beautiful way of showing me, because if I contributed something of myself, some knowledge, some thoughts that I had, something I'd read, some experiences that I had in my life, it shut down the healing. Every contribution that I gave as Peter, through my experience, my knowledge, anything in my life, immediately stopped the healing. So over a period of a long time, 20 years, I was little by little learning that I have nothing to contribute. Just get out of the way and let it happen. Let it happen. Yes, and sometimes I speak. Sometimes I move my hands and put my hands on people and speak and other things, but it's not me doing it. I'm out of the way. It's just I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And I know enough to know that I never will know what it is, because what it is beyond thought, beyond the mind. So I can't know what it is with my mind. And yet something in me knows absolutely what it is, but it can't be translated into words or thoughts. It's beyond words and thoughts. It's beyond a personal self, far beyond the illusion of a personal self. So how you prepare for this, how you prepare to receive this transmission, which we'll do tonight, is you let go. You let go of your thoughts. You don't compare and contrast. Oh, is it like this? Oh, I had another experience like that at one point. Is it like that? Shaktipat? Oh, I've had that before. Is it like this Shaktipat that someone else does? You let all of that go because you don't know. And when you truly don't know, when your mind is wide open and free, you're able to receive this transmission. You're able to receive life. You're able to receive reality. So when I'm working with Pedro, initially he said that he came to me because he felt that I would do Shaktipat for him. He was sort of called to do that, and I did. And it's been a very powerful experience for him. So he keeps putting it on me, that to sit with me is the only time he can feel this. And yes, this happens in the beginning, but I reinforce with him, and he's starting to get it now, that no, it's him. This is for everyone and in everyone all the time. The only thing that's happening is he's open to it when he's with me. But soon he won't need me at all. Soon he won't need me at all. And then he will be a channel for this, for others. Because he's open enough for that. I can see that. It's very clear. It's not like there's something that arranged this situation so I would learn and be motivated and inspired to share this with you and other people. And as he says, he thinks it's going to be even stronger with a group. But we did find that it works through video. I mean, he found that he's recorded the sessions, and then he plays them all during the week, and he gets just the same thing 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days after the experience, just as powerful. And it keeps building in him. So it's a wonderful thing to be open to. It can do amazing things, what you need. You know, whether it's physical healing, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is, it will do what you need. Because it knows far more than you ever will, far more than I ever will, far more than anyone ever will. All awakened teachers have only been pointing to this, pointing to reality, because that's all we can do. We cannot describe it in words. We cannot give you a mental picture of what it is, because it's beyond thought. So, to help you prepare for it, I just want to remind you that every night you fall asleep, don't you? Every night you fall asleep, and you don't really do anything to fall asleep, do you? It's not your skill at falling asleep. It's not your knowledge of falling asleep. None of that works. And yet you fall asleep. You've done it since you were an infant. You don't do anything. And yet sleep happens. I've been very fortunate over the last couple of years to be able to, that my consciousness has been awake enough to be able to watch myself fall asleep. The whole process of falling asleep, and it is wonderful. It's miraculous. You know, in the beginning, we go through this kind of, at some point, a twilight thing. You know, we're right at the cusp of falling asleep. There's this sort of what I could call a twilight area, where there's a little bit of us that's still awake, a little bit of us still asleep. Our unconscious mind starts generating things, and we're almost sort of semi-dreaming at that point. And then there's this switch where we fall asleep. There's this change. The twilight time comes, and then suddenly we're asleep. And we didn't do anything for that. Nothing. It just happens. It just happens. And at that point, immediately when that happens, the subconscious dreaming stops for a while. And we go into not quite deep sleep, but something without thought. without a self, without a world, without any of the stuff that we had in our life before that moment. When we're semi-conscious, semi-dreaming in that twilight state, there's still a little remnants of life and the world and me and all that. But in that moment that we fall asleep, that's gone. It's all completely gone. Did we let it go? No. It's just gone. We didn't have to do anything. It just happened. It just happened. So every single night this happens to you. Every single night it just happens. And that's the receptive state that I want you to be in, to receive this Shaktipat, to receive this silent transmission, to receive this Buddha field, this transmission. It's natural if your thoughts rise up and you have a question or you think you have a realization or something. It's fine. It's your habit. We all have it. But I'm just asking if you can just let it go. Every thought that arises, just let it go. It's not important. You want to receive this silent transmission that's here, not from me, from life, from God, from the universe, from reality. You want to receive from yourself. You want to receive this. And only your mind is in the way. It's the only thing that's ever been in the way. So don't make an effort out of it. Don't try and force your thoughts away. Just allow them to go. Just don't feed them with attention. Allow them to come, allow them to go. Allow them to come, allow them to go. And focus instead on the sensations in your body. Just whatever they are. Sensations in the body. The space around you. Not thinking. Experiencing. And then if you would be so kind as to share with me what your experiences are, to teach me about this, because this is the only way that I know. Your experiences, what you tell me. I have experiences here. Not anything that can be put into words. Wonderful bliss. But even those words don't even touch it. But your experiences, when you haven't reached this state that's beyond all thoughts and all words, can be expressed in words. And that I can learn from. Stay with this experience because it's with you. It's with you. It doesn't really need me. I would love it if you could realize this, that it's always with you, that you don't need me. That you're tapping into your true nature, your true infinite, unlimited nature, beyond anything that you can imagine. It's not a personal you, not a soul. It's far, far beyond that. And the reason that this transmission works, I'm feeling, is because there is no separation, really. It's natural that you would tap into this great infinite peace, this profound, unlimited love. This radiance, this bliss. Because this is you. This is your true nature. Not a person, not a soul, not a divine being. Far beyond that. As I was speaking with someone today, a very open spiritual person and a genius as well, amazing person, he said that sometimes you communicate, consciousness communicates with itself, and the energy that flows back and forth, which was happening between us, was consciousness communicating with itself. The two supposed people were irrelevant. And that's what this is. It doesn't need words. The true teaching doesn't need words. In fact, words usually get in the way. So just experience what it is to be. Not thinking, but experiencing. Experiencing things that thoughts cannot describe and don't need to. As I'm learning from Pedro, the person I'm working with in Portugal, that the the energy of this keeps increasing every day. Every day you use it, the experience is more powerful. So even if you're only feeling a little bit, just a sense of calmness, peace and ease, keep opening to it. And this video is saved. You can come back to this anytime you want to. I'll put it on YouTube too, as well as all the other videos that I have. I have 5 now that I've recorded. And like, you can use them every day as Pedro does. He even loops them and plays them, let them play all night while he's sleeping. And the energy keeps increasing. The benefits of it keep increasing. So even if you're only feeling a little bit of this, he's done a lot of work to have himself be this open to it. But if you haven't, and you're just feeling a slight bit of peace or something, it's wonderful. Keep doing it, keep opening to it, and you should experience more and more. You'll learn how to let go more and more. Because it is in your nature to let go. As I said, every night when you fall asleep, you do it. It's not hard. Many people ask, how do you let go? There is no how. There's no how. You're not doing anything. That's what letting go is. It's not for your mind to understand. You don't need to understand how you fall asleep. You just do. It's not for your mind to understand how you let go. You just do. Perhaps right now. Sometimes when you do this, you tap into human consciousness, all the consciousness of all humans alive at this moment, and even previous moments, and even future moments, all of the sum of human consciousness. It's an interesting experience. It's like thoughts will come that you've never had before, images. And that's okay. Please let go of that too, because there's so much more than that. So much more that you are. Please don't accept this as a belief or a thought, because it cannot be really conceived. It's experienced without thought, like falling asleep. You're just falling awake. Sometimes the joy and bliss and love is more than you think the body can stand. This overwhelming ecstasy. And yet it can stand it. Because this is not limited to the body. This experience, how you experience this, is far beyond the body. Far beyond even energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is a brief glimpse, a brief Shaktipat, a brief samadhi, perhaps if you experience this for a moment. Satori, a glimpse into truth, a glimpse into awakened consciousness, which cannot be conveyed in words, so it has to be experienced. which is what this is about. This is about your experience. Not mine, not anyone else's, but yours, moment by moment. And there will be, as I said, a series of videos that I'll put on YouTube, which are just silent meditation. It doesn't have the fountain or the water or the drone sound of music. It doesn't have any of that or my words. It's just pure silence. So this is an introduction to that, and hopefully a way to set you into a receptive mode, a receptive experience, so you can be open and not caught in your thoughts and not trying to understand it with your thoughts. And then if you would, share with me what your experiences are. Because I said, this is how I learn. Really, we're doing this together. You're teaching me what this is. For you, anyway. And I'm learning a lot from that. Because I'm in a state of pure not knowing. So I don't know. It's just what it is, and it cannot be described in words. Even the experience of all of human consciousness at once, it can't really be described, but at that moment I understood what that was. And that's a very low level. I'm dropping down a bit into lower levels to experience human consciousness. Mostly I'm far beyond that. There's a heaviness to human consciousness, more than our own consciousness, but still a heaviness to it. You know, there's something much lighter, much freer, which is closer to our own true nature. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say, to hear what your experiences are. And I encourage you to keep using this video and the other videos to see what happens, to keep letting go and keep experiencing. And don't be frustrated if you don't feel anything at all. Just keep opening, keep trying, and keep not thinking, because your frustration has to be your thoughts, doesn't it? I'm not experiencing anything as a thought. You're still in your mind, you know? To let go of your mind, you are pure experience. So you have to be experiencing something, because you're pure experience, pure awareness. How wonderful. Thank you, my beautiful friend. Much love to you.